Alright, you guys, thank you for watching. This is the reading for September 4th, 2022 on any situation that's on your mind. So I'm using the Karma Cards deck by Monty Farber. It looks like this. Anyway, so it has 3 decks. What you're going to do is think of whatever situation that's on your mind, and I will shuffle the 3 decks, and it will give you either an outcome or what you should do about it. So depending on what kind of a situation you're in, you may need advice on what to do, or you might need advice on what the outcome will be. Either way, let's go. Today is September 4th, 2022. So the first one we're going to shuffle is the planets. Just knock on it, make sure. Let's see what comes out. My cat is being nosy. She usually comes and steps on my cards. Every time I pull my cards out. She loves tarot cards and oracle cards. Mystical cat. Okay, let's try shuffling these a different way. Let's see what comes out. I guess this is the one that wants to come out. Okay. And now let's shuffle our signs deck. Oh, that one wants to come out pretty easily. Okay. And now let's shuffle our houses deck. For messages to help whoever is watching with whatever issues on their mind. Alright, so one of them came out. Now let's see what we got here. So, we're gonna do... Let's see what we're going to do first. Let's turn that around. Okay, so we're going to do outcome first. So it says here, the ideation of resources to maintain your faith. So it sounds to me like the outcome is going to be idealization of resources to maintain your faith. So it sounds like whatever you're using to stay faithful and whatever it is that you're practicing is probably something that you're viewing through rose-colored glasses, meaning that maybe you're not seeing some of the downsides to it or some of the red flags that may have been presented to you. Not passing judgment on what anybody believes. That's a very personal journey, but that's what it sounds like to me. As far as how it affects you spiritually, it is the best for nurturing your soul. The way that it's affecting you mentally is that there's some confusion regarding the practicality of hidden tendencies. So again, maybe you're seeing something about your spirituality through rose-colored glasses, and it's confusing you. There's something hidden from yourself, whether you're doing it to yourself or someone else is hiding it from you, that is causing confusion for you. And the way that it affects you physically, the outcome of it, is what's going to be best for the nurturing of your bodily needs. And that answer, the outcome of that, is sacrifice resulting from the productivity of large institutions or overwhelming events. So you're going to have to take an L, and I don't mean a loss, I mean a lesson in something that resulted from productivity of yourself or some other larger institution regarding some kind of large event. So I'm not sure what's going on out there, but you know, one of the examples that I can think of, again, not passing any judgment, but if you're part of like a large church of some sort, there could be something that you may need to sacrifice personally because of something that happened regarding your church, whether it was some large event or maybe your church has taken a loss and you're taking a loss for it as well. Anyway, so that's what I have for outcome. Now, if you're looking for answers as to what you should do, let's look at that advice here. It's saying here that you should inspire others with your beliefs, seeking oneness with all that there is. That's your spiritual advice of what you should do. So whatever beliefs that you've taken, if it's regarding the same situation of some large church or large entity regarding your spirituality, use what you've learned, what you've internalized and used in your own life to inspire others. Those are your beliefs. Inspire other people with it. And one of the ways that you can do that is trying to seek oneness with everyone and everything. At the risk of sounding too crunchy, it basically comes down to love and seeing people as we want to be viewed, and also in a loving way, an unconditional way. It helps people grow, in my opinion. As far as your mental action that should be taken, like what you should do, it says be prepared to sacrifice for the costs of philanthropy. So here it's saying that, you know, not everybody is gonna like what you have to say. Not everyone is going to be grateful for it. But if it's something that you really believe in and you know that you're doing something good for the community, something that is philanthropic, whether it's, you know, sharing your experiences and loving people unconditionally as a way of teaching, or getting closer to the people in your community, not everybody is going to be grateful for that. Not everyone is going to appreciate that. Not everybody is going to understand it. So just be prepared to have haters. You're always going to have haters. No matter what it is that you do, they're always going to be there. But that's okay, because when you have haters, that's letting you know that you're doing something right. As far as physically, how the outcome of this is going to affect you or what you should do, it says yielding is the only way to use the most direct way and keep your involvement hidden. So no need to go around telling a bunch of people who aren't going to understand you or believe you or are looking for a reason to hate on you, you can keep it to yourself. But the people who are open to listening to whatever message it is that you have to share, because we all have a message to share, do it in the most direct way. And, you know, don't try to like sweet talk people into believing or trying to convince somebody who's unconvincible. Just go about it in a direct and simple way. And you don't need to be overbearing or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But just remember that, you know, not everybody is open and receptive. So flock to the people who are open and receptive, because those are the people who really need to hear what you have to say. And eventually, you'd be surprised. Some of the haters and some of the people who seem unresponsive to whatever it is that you are saying, you'd be surprised how many people will come around later. It's like the initial bitterness of the medicine before the sugar goes down. So the signs that came up were Taurus, and Taurus is a very strong, productive, dependable, patient, slow, practical, generous sign. When they're being treated well, they can be very, very furious and angry if they're pushed too far. So that could be you in this situation. And just remember to, you know, walk tall with the big stick and speak softly, as they say. This is also a warning about how Taurans are infamous for not liking when plans change. So if you have a plan in your mind of whatever it is that you're considering, just remember that you can't stay married to those plans forever. Things come up, things happen, and it's the branch that bends in the storm that survives, not the one that breaks. So don't let a change in plans break you down, make you angry and susceptible to those behaviors of just wanting things to be your way. Sometimes you need to compromise and figure out how to get around a particular obstacle without letting it break you down completely. The planet that we have in this reading is Neptune. And Neptune has to do with your individuated soul. It's really closely associated with Pisces, which is a water sign, and Pisceans are known for being very, very nurturing, really understanding and kind, but they can also do that to a fault where their needs aren't being met emotionally, and they do have a lot of emotional needs. Ego denial, selfless love, sacrifice, faith in the unseen. You don't want to let all of those be perverted by fear and become self-destructive or escapist. Pisceans are also known for having high rates of alcoholism, drug addiction, suicides, and a defeatist attitude. So just remember, with these two in general, the Taurus and Neptune, you know, you don't need to, it's not the end of the world if your plans have to change along the way. Have a good goal in mind, work toward it, and if for some reason there are things that change, bend with it, don't break, and don't beat yourself up about it either. You know, it is not the end of the world, it's just an obstacle, and look at it as not an L, but a lesson. Learn a lesson from it and find a way around that obstacle, because it's merely an obstacle. It's only temporary, it's not forever. The last thing in our reading is the 12th house, And what's interesting to me is that the 12th house in particular hang on a second. The 12th house represents how you project yourself into the world. It also represents your inner you and what you don't want to project. So again, going back to Taurus here and Neptune, just remember that, you know, you don't need to get angry. It's not the ending of the world if things don't go exactly according to plan. I would just say that, you know, bend with the tide. Sometimes redirection is protection for something that could have been catastrophic. Be mindful of how you want to project yourself onto other people. Not to your detriment. I'm not saying, you know, sacrifice authenticity for, you know, a facade, but just remember that you want to be the best person that you can be, and other people can see that by how you handle given situations. Because remember, there are people that are always watching you. A lot of the times your haters are actually your fans, and they just don't know what to do with that energy just yet. So be the example. You know, if someone has something negative to say to you, even if you grit your teeth a little bit, compliment them in return. Because I guarantee you, they just are trying to prove something to themselves, that you're this awful person that they've made you up to be in their mind. Don't give them the satisfaction, and don't give yourself the dissatisfaction of acting in a way that you don't want to act. Not being genuine to what your true purpose is and the type of person you want to be. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope you're all doing well. Remember, you're not alone, and we're all out here for you. The universe has your back, and if you can think it, you can make it happen. All right, you guys take care. Hope this helps.